What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Like the video, throw a comment down in the comments section. Let's get to it, shall we? It is Monday, September 23rd. And it is a Victory Monday. No other Mondays are better than Victory Monday. A fun one as the Packers took down the Titans 30-14 in Nashville yesterday. A ton of takeaways. And I'll say that was one of the more fun games that I can remember watching over the last few years. Similar to last week, we weren't exactly sure what we were going to get out of the offense with Malik Willis at the helm for the second straight week, facing his old team. Titans traded him to us just 3 weeks ago, and he balled out. You've got to be absolutely sick to see Malik Willis, who was just on your team, couldn't even make the roster, to come into your house and beat you. And not only did he just kind of manage the game here or there. He had a great game yesterday, 13 of 19 for 202 yards and 1 touchdown. Also had 6 carries for 73 yards and another touchdown. That 73 yards rushing led the team. So you absolutely love to see it. 2 total touchdowns of the day for Malik Willis, and he made some big-time throws as well, especially on third down. Christian Watson, 2 catches for 67 yards. Jaden Reed, 4 catches for 50 yards, including one on the first play of the game to kickstart that opening touchdown drive. Emmanuel Wilson had 12 carries for 50 yards and 2 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown, his first score in the NFL. Josh Jacobs had a quieter game, only had 43 yards on 14 carries. That defensive front for the Titans, they put up a good fight early in the game, but with all the playmakers we have, we didn't have any issue moving the ball pretty much the entire game, which was fun to see. Jair Alexander had his first career pick six yesterday, which was fun. And the story of the day outside of Malik Willis was once again our defensive front. 8 total sacks, which is just crazy. Wyatt had 2 sacks, and so did Preston Smith. Lucas Van Ness and Kingsley Enagbare got in the action with a sack each of their own. And Kingsley Enagbare's sack was a forced fumble that Lucas Van Ness recovered. So you love to see that. Quay Walker and Isaiah McDuffie also got in on the action, each having half a sack. The Titans' offensive line had no answers for our pass rush. So you love to see it. And I almost forgot. Xavier McKinney had his 3rd pick of the year in as many games. Signing him this offseason has a chance to go down as one of the better free agent signings that we have ever made in a long time. So such a fun player to watch. Last but not least, before we hop into the chat here, you guys are already chopping it up. So appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Daniel Whelan, our punter, had himself another stellar day punting the ball. And if he keeps it up, he could find himself in the Pro Bowl and maybe even earn a All-Pro if he continues to punt the way he has through the first 3 games. What is going on, everybody? How are we feeling on this Victory Monday? The chat is just firing off. You guys are crazy. Randall is in the chat over on Instagram. Hey, Rob, I mentioned Edgerrin Cooper to you Friday, and he did play more. Yes, he did, and he looked good. So expect to see more of that moving forward. Nick Beagle over on Instagram. Matt is coach of the year. Xavier McKinney is looking absolutely amazing. Do you think Jordan is going to play next week? I cannot wait for these penalties to stop. I agree. Yeah, it seems like we keep shooting ourselves in the foot with the penalties. On the flip side, I did see the other day someone post a stat saying that our opponents that we have faced have the least penalties going against them. So not only are we shooting ourselves in the foot, the team we're going up against is not getting called for pretty much any penalties, which it doesn't matter. We're 2-1. We're still getting it done. Should have won that week 1 game, but it is what it is. Nick, I completely agree with you. Kachi over on Instagram, need more points off turnovers. 9 takeaways, 16 points, and the only touchdown was the pick 6. Kashi, thanks for educating me on that right there. That is news to me. Yes, absolutely need to do better when it comes to capitalizing on the turnovers. I think we'll see that improve when Jordan comes back, hopefully this weekend, but only time will tell. Tulio over on Instagram, green and gold, greetings from Brazil. Greetings from the United States. Hope you're having a great day, Tulio. Thanks for hopping on. Riaz, I knew we were going to be getting one of these. Do we really need love? If we stop the penalty and stop big play giveaways by defense, we will be great. Riaz, we do need Jordan Love. And although Malik Willis has been playing his butt off and doing very, very well, and us as a team have been doing very well, you got to remember our opponents, we don't make the schedule, so we're just playing who's on our schedule. Our opponents haven't been the best of teams overall. The Colts, who snuck away with a win over the Bears this past weekend, and then obviously the Titans, who are now 0-3. They just did not look like a good team whatsoever. And you can tell, there's things that, we would like to do a little more of, whether it's passing the ball or doing whatnot, that we would do with Jordan in there. So if we're this good with Malik Willis, I think we go up about 10 more levels with Jordan. And I think that's what's going to happen this year. So Riaz, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you tuning in. Dylan Clark, my buddy. Rob, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. What about Jordan Love? Is he back this week? Well, we don't know for sure. He's limited in practice to begin this week, is all coach would say. So your guess is as good as mine, Ike. Your guess is as good as mine. Nick, I'm excited for this Vikings game. In my opinion, they have looked like the best team in the division. If Green Bay wins, that's a statement. Absolutely. If we can beat the Vikings this weekend, we would be sitting atop the NFC North at 3-1. The Vikings would also be 3-1, and we would hold the tiebreaker. It's going to be a fun game, and I think Jordan's going to be back for it. Only time will tell. But, Sunday is going to be fun. Randall, Rob, Pack 27s, Vikings 20. I like that score right there. Lorenzo, go Pack, go. Happy for Malik Willis. He can play. He can absolutely play. It blows my mind that not only did he not crack the Titans roster ahead of Mason Rudolph, and I didn't ever think he was going to beat out Will Levis with the high draft capital they have in him, but to not even beat out Mason Rudolph for a spot on the roster just blows my mind. And then you get rid of him for just a 7th-round pick to a team they're facing in a couple weeks in us, the Packers. And, he's been balling out. So big props to Malik Willis. You absolutely love to see it. Lorenzo, thanks for hopping on. Steven, I'm the northernmost shareholder. Steven, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Frank, Packers 45, Vikings 7. That would absolutely be a statement win. Tulio, this defense is rising. We'll have a monster D by December and January. Hopefully we're playing some meaningful football come that time of year, Tulio. Thank you for tuning in. Trisha was at the game yesterday, and let me tell you, I think there were more Packers fans than there were Titans fans. What's up, Trisha? I saw on the broadcast, and at times I even heard the Packers fans in attendance making it seem like a home game yesterday. Go Pack, go Chance. We're breaking out. Loud cheers, whenever we would do something positive. Packer fans are everywhere, and it showed during yesterday's game. So, Trisha, hope you had a great time at the game. Always fun to be in attendance for a win. Sam, Malik Willis, mad respect for him for not only keeping us afloat, but going undefeated in Jordan's absence. What's going on, Sam? The Malik Willis story, I feel like, is something we'll be talking about for a long time. For him to come in, like I just said, 3 weeks ago, and then get thrown into action as fast as he did, and not only do well, but he has been doing very well and help us go 2-0 these last 2 weeks. Could be a big reason why we'll have the playoff seed we do later this season. Malik Willis, Matt LaFleur dialing up some stuff for him and keeping us afloat, and then some while Jordan has been out. So, Sam, thanks for hopping in, my man. Good to see you. Yosef, honest thoughts on if Jordan will play this weekend? I've said it all along. I always had this game circled as the game that he would return to. I think there's a very good chance he plays this weekend if everything this week goes according to plan. But we do know that sometimes setbacks happen, and we've got an entire week's worth of practice. So if we can get through those with no setbacks, no problems, I do think Jordan Love will be healed up enough to give it a go this weekend against the Vikings. It's going to be a battle. Division games are always tough. But throwing the fact that the Vikings are just on fire right now, they're 3-0 with wins over the Giants, 49ers, and most recently the Texans. Vikings fans are very cocky right now, and rightfully so. But I hope Vikings fans and the Vikings are prepared to get handed their first loss of the season this weekend, because that's what's going to happen. So, Randall, Rob, got to throw this out there. How about the job of Coach LaFleur did getting Malik not only ready, but getting us 2 big dubs? An absolute huge ton of credit goes to Matt LaFleur and all those guys in the quarterback room. Matt LaFleur shouted out all the quarterback coaches for helping out a ton, getting Malik up to speed, and then some. And also just the guys around him, the guys in the huddle, making sure the play call is correct. Everybody's in line, set. It's a group effort, in Coach LaFleur's words from today's presser. He was talking about that. So a group effort, but big props to Coach LaFleur. He is showing that he is more than just an Aaron Rodgers head coach, kind of riding the coattails of that. He showed that last year. He continues to show it this year, and I'm super happy for him. So, Nick, Sam Darnold is looking great. I'd be happy for him if he wasn't on the Vikings. I hope Jeff Hafley is the one to figure him out, bring him back down to earth. Nick, exactly right. You know, at some point the Vikings are going to kind of fall off. Giants are bad. The 49ers were injury-riddled. And the Texans, who got a lot of hype this offseason, have not looked very good. So they barely beat the Bears. They barely beat the Colts week 1. And they got beat pretty handedly yesterday in Minnesota. And I'm not taking anything away from the Vikings because they're on fire. They're looking really good. But if there's any game that they come back down to earth, I think it's this weekend against our defense. So, Nick, I'm right there with you. All right. Let's try something out here, huh? Okay. It is time. Here we go. You heard it, folks. Use the code Packers20 in the TickPick app for $20 off your tickets. The Green Bay Packers fact of the day, and it's a good one. Xavier McKinney is the first Packers player to have an interception in each of his first 3 games of the season in the last 45 years. Xavier McKinney has been just an absolute stud since joining us, and he was beforehand, which makes me question even more why the Giants got rid of him. And as I said earlier, it's got a chance to go down as one of the better free agent signings that we have had in a long time. And even outside the interceptions, he's playing outstanding football right now. So big shout out to Goot for bringing him in. Also, a big shout out to TickPick for partnering up with myself. I've used them. I would never promote something that I'm not 100% on board with personally. Download the app. Use the code Packers20 for $20 off. What else we got? I was at the game. Michelle says, I was at the game. So good. Go Pack Go from Cali. Michelle, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you. Hoku, I'm all the way in Hawaii. What a coincidence. Michelle, Malik was definitely a star. Hoku, this past game meant a lot to him and us all. Absolutely. Nonetheless, we're 2-1. We were 0-1 facing a Jordan Love injury. We didn't know what was going to happen, how serious it was. And to be sitting here entering week 4 at 2-1 with Jordan not playing these last 2 weeks, I think we have hit the jackpot as far as best case scenario. And we also haven't had anybody else sustain any injuries. We've stayed pretty healthy. Jordan Morgan, I know, was out with a shoulder injury. Marshawn Lloyd is on IR. But outside of those guys, we've stayed pretty healthy. So you just love to see it. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. But as you know, and as I always say, the content never stops. I'm always posting everything Packers related on all the social channels at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow. Shoot me a DM. Chat me some football. I'm always down to talk Packers football anytime, any day. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, I will catch you guys later. Thank you.